welcome to fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. It's good to see you all. Hello, Nick. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good. Glad to hear it. Hello, everybody. We're going to be doing day 3 of our intermediate and advanced relationship series with Nick Hunter, which is pretty awesome. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to look down and grab one of these subscription bundles. If you have bought this to support the channel, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. For my people who are like, I really don't like your streams, go pick up this. It's a lot more animated, very concise. Videos are longest at like 30 minutes. We cover a huge variety of topics. Missed yesterday due to a commitment. Can Nick do a really quick recap of what he talked about yesterday? Nick,
Yeah,
you
I do
down to
that
do?
yeah, I
Yeah,
do that all the time. Yeah.
yeah. I kind of figured. Okay, cool. With that being said, I think I'm gonna let you start getting recapping. So you want to share your screen for me?
So let's recap. What is a predicate? When you have a relationship, this here is a predicate. What we do here, this is a predicate. So one field matching the content of the target field. Source field, target field, source field, target field, source field, target field. Okay. When you have multi-predicates, you can say either you want this to equal this, or you can say, I want this to be different. That means when you do this, you say, okay, based on this, okay, whatever record you get from here, here, and here, I want you to ignore whatever in that field, right? So that's what you can do. So that's the multi-predicates relationship. Within a predicate, right, you have fields, but within the fields, you can put multiple values. FileMaker use that concept of values a lot. So that give me the opportunity to come and explain a little bit what a value is. Why FileMaker values so much values? Okay, it's because it's the lowest possible in the food chain, right? So let me explain the FileMaker food chain. First, you have the table. Okay, very first you have the file, FMP12. This is the top of the line, okay? You have nothing possible if you have no file first. Within the file, right, you have tables. That's the second level of the food chain. Within table, you have fields, right? Within fields, you have data. Okay, file, table, fields, right? Records, right? Records, right? And then you have data in the field. Within the field, you have a lower level, right? Let's say the underground. Let's say record is the ground, and the underground is the value. And FileMaker, and I have the proof of it, is how FileMaker deal with value, right? Is this. Look, all what we have, all the arsenal that I said, all the arsenal we have about values, filter values, right? Get values, you have a JSON values, left values, right? Middle value, right values, sort values, unique values, value counts, right? So all of those things are about values, number of values, right? Value number, all those things. So FileMaker use a lot of values. Values is extremely useful, and you need to use that a lot in FileMaker. So you can use that as a JSON if you want. I can talk about that another day, but you don't need to master JSON to master values. So what is values? What is a value, right? Well, in the field, I can have multiple values. A value is whatever. So let's create a new record here, right? A value is whatever you type with a character, a carriage return, a carriage return. This now I have two values, 1 and 2. Don't get me wrong, right? It's not because you cannot count values based on carriage return because I have two values, only one carriage return. Okay, here. So here I have two values. I can set three value, carriage return value. A value is a row in Excel, not a value, right? So you have, no. It's in Excel, it's the same. It's a carriage return in a cell in Excel, right? So, so this is a carriage return within a cell, carriage return within a field, right? So how FileMaker deal with value? So how we can get value, how I can use those things, right? So let's say here in this J country, I have values, right? So J country, I have three values. How I know that? I have value counts, this 3, right? Value counts in this field, 3 values. So what I was saying about counting the carriage return is not valid because if you say pattern count, because I saw that, and you look for this, you have only 2. But I have 3 values because I have only 2 carriage returns. So don't use this, use the value count. Okay? Value count. So also what I can do, I can get a value from that list, from that field. And let's say I want the first value, or the second value, or the third value, right? Also, I can get values from the left. So let me put something here. Let's put like France, USA, and England. Okay. Oops. Right. So I have 3 values here. So what can I do with these values? Right? So I can use the left values. Very important what I'm saying here is, so let's values, and I want 2 values from the left. So when FileMaker said from the left, you need to think about from the top. I'm taking 2 values from the top, or I'm taking 1 value, 2 values, or 3 values. If I put 4, whatever, right? 1, 2, and 3. You can do the same from the right. That means from the bottom, right? So if I want 1 value from the bottom, I take England. If I said 2 value, I said England and USA. You see how it does? It said it goes to USA and take, this is how it goes. It goes, right? To, right? In that order. And then you have the middle value. So for that, I need more value here. Okay. So now, if I use middle value from the J country, from which value I want to start? I want to start from the first, and I want 3 values: France, USA, England. But I can say, no. Start from the third and get me 2. 1, 2, 3, England, and it takes 2, England and Colombia. Right? This is a middle value. You start from somewhere in the list and you say how many values you want. Right? So we have value count, get value, middle value, left, right, right? Also, to get a list of values, okay? Not talking about value list, I'm talking about list of value, okay? You have the list. So how the list works. So let's say I want the list of my full names. So what is doing here? I'm getting the list of this list here. See? This list here, I have the list. I have the list of all the names I have throughout this relationship. I have a list of values, right? And I can count them. "36. Also, I can get value from that list of value, and I can say I want the first or the second or the third or the fourth. I can say I want the right, I want the left values, you know, I want the first 5 or 10, right? So you can play with the list of values, right? So FileMaker has the real potential here, right? Because we can do a lot of things on the relationship side. Also, this is extremely freaking powerful because you can say, okay, I put 3 IDs, right? So FileMaker will say, okay, I'm taking those 3 IDs. And then I'm adding countries. And then I'm adding statuses. And FileMaker will automatically figure out to get within that 3 accounts ID buckets to get all the country I ask here and all the status I ask here, and I can ignore Dallas. See here, we have Dallas here, which is not in France, but we don't care. And if I said this, if I validate this, poof, Dallas gone. So FileMaker will figure out all of these things. So now when you see that, you can understand the power when you need to gather data. Forget about perform find. I know you guys, I mean, did you guys change your way to gather data because I demonstrate this in the past or now? I want to ask. Are you abandoning the perform find stuff?
Well, everybody, people are typing. Scott says absolutely. Uh, Mike's typing. Yeah, Mike says they're looking for ways to incorporate, which I think is what a lot of people are, that are looking how to incorporate it into their existing stuff or
Well,
into their new
this
stuff.
this example I have here is a great example because you have accounts, but I'm going to I'm presenting the concept and then I'm going to put the concept in motion. You understand? Because for now it's just like a concept. I mean, it's just a demonstration of the feature, but you don't really know how to incorporate that in something. And I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to show you many examples. Okay. So, but first you need to understand how that works, right? So this is where we were at. Also, yesterday I introduced a concept of the one. This concept here. Not this contact, this. Because I demonstrated yesterday that if one of those predicates, all of those are involved in the relationship, if one is empty, boom, I mean, it will get broken. But I show that if I put a 1 instead of nothing, right, it will take everything, right? You understand? So And that's thanks to this, because here too, I have multiple values. So you can play. So this was the first demonstration, that I wanted to make to show you that I can have multi-value here, multi-value here, multi-value here, multi-value here, but also multi-value here. And the relationship will automatically do that for you, right? Automatically. So, for example, let's say I said this guy, right? Julian Brooks, which is somewhere here now. He's in Philippines. So Julian, where the Philippines? Because it's sorted by, oh, it's sorted by city. So let's sort it by first name, full name. Okay. So Julian Brooks, right? So let's go to Julian Brooks. Julian Brooks. Julian Brooks here. He's in Philippines, right? But let's say I want to put him in two countries, Philippines and France. So now this guy, right? Let's say I'm doing Philippines here. I'm filtering, I want the Philippines only. Julian Brooks came because he's in Philippines. But if I ask for France, he will come also because it's on both countries. Correct? But if I put France and Philippines, he's not going to come twice. He's going to come once because the same record is on two countries. So you see the power of the multi-value relationship here, right? So it's on both countries, so it will appear on both. And if I'm asking for both countries at the same time, I'm not going to get it twice because I don't need to duplicate it. So for example, let's say I have an example. I'm working for a customer where he has a lot of contacts and stuff like this. And before, if he had the same guy on two different countries, right? He was creating two contacts records, which is bad, right? No, you need to have the same contact with two countries, or the same contact with two or three different companies, for example. There's a guy working for 2, 3 companies, right? Well, you have one contact for multiple companies. You don't need to triplicate the record, right? So, and the relationship will take care of that very well. Okay. So, and if you want all the country, boom, bam, you say one or you blank it. I showed you yesterday how to blank and get the one automatically, then you don't have to take care of it, right? So with a calculation here. So where is it, the country, right? So I have an auto entry calculation. I said, if it's empty self, that means if the field itself is empty, then put one automatically. If not, put whatever I typed in the fields. That's what it means, right? So now, do we have any question? Otherwise, I can continue.
Nope, I think you're good. So I would keep
Okay.
trucking.
Okay. So now I want to introduce you to a new concept, and I call that the tag, because FileMaker has a lower level, of data. You have the values, but the lowest level, the very lowest level, like you are in the engine room, right? You are in the engine. You are below the level of the sea in the boat, right? So we call that the Boolean data. And so what a Boolean? Boolean is 0, 1, yes, no, true, false. That a Boolean, what we call Boolean, that means it's true, is either true, either false, whatever. And FileMaker has this natural. For example, this is important. You need to learn that to use the relationship in a very powerful manner. So what is a Boolean? Okay, something simple. 1 plus 1 equals 3. Is that true? No. 0. It's not true. It's not. 1 plus 1 is not 3. 3. I mean, in California, yes, but not in the world. So when you say 1 plus 1 equals 2, yes. 1. Go. Good. True. Right? If I say equal 3, no, it's not true. Well, equal 1, no. You only get, So let's say, for example, how we can get a Boolean. Okay. You can say year of get current date, right? Equal 2025. Is that true? Yes. Isn't 2024? No. 0. It's 2025. Right? Now, what can I do with the Boolean? So you don't need to put a if, because I see that a lot. You don't need to do that. If this, then good, otherwise bad, right? You don't need that. We use Boolean for that. If you want to do this, that's a Boolean way to do that. And the Boolean way is to get rid of the if, which is slow, get this, right? And get a Boolean field, a Boolean result, 0, 1, right? So let's say I want to get this to return. So it's a Boolean, right? So for example, all the other way we can get a Boolean, say, okay, for example, value, okay, value count, okay, actually it's better to do that. Count contacts, where's contact? Okay, count contacts, their IDs, right? And I said, let's say, is the count of contacts superior or 300? No, it's not. I don't need the if. FileMaker will return 0 or 1 if true or false. If I put 250, we'll say yes. The count of how many records I have on the other side of this relationship is more than 250. Okay. So you have many ways. We can say, for example, is J, for example, is empty J status, for example. J status. Why is not coming? Oh, because I'm in contact. J status is empty. No, it's not empty. But if I blank it, yeah, it is empty. Right? Now it's not empty. So now, how I can? So did you get the concept of Boolean? And did you get also the way that FileMaker get you that for free without any ifs?
People are typing. Yeah, Ken says got it and use it. What do you mean, Mike from Milwaukee? Yes or no? Oh, about the Boolean. Like, yes, you got it, or yeah, okay. So
Got
I
it?
think people, yes.
Okay. So now, how you can get a Boolean reversed? For example, here I said is empty. That means if it's empty, yes, no. But if I want to know if there's something, yes, no. Well, we don't have there's something. We have empty only. So you put a not in front. That reversed, right? Is there something is not empty? Is it not empty, right? That means if there's something, yes, there's something here. Same for all the thing, like I said, like I did before, right? Like the year of the get current date, right? Equal 2025. Well, no, it's not, right? So is you can reverse this. Is it 2025? Or if you want to know, if you want to make it a negative answer, if that's the case, right? You can reverse putting the not in front, right? You reverse, you get the opposite. Okay, very useful as well to know that. So now that you got the Boolean whatever the Boolean concept, sorry, let me show you something. When you want to do a relationship, a performant relationship, this here, what I've done here, they're inactive, active. Well, this is not good at all. You don't want, for thing like this, you don't want to use the name of the status for many reasons, right? Status, whatever thing you have here, you don't want. You want to use another concept. You want to use the tags, okay? So the tag is, it's a Boolean, right? So here, for example, I have the status, but I have a stupid status, right? Because the status come from, I need to type active and inactive, right? But that's not good. The best is to duplicate this, right? And to get that as a Boolean. So how you got this? First is a number, very important. You get the Boolean, okay? Correct? And then first, I need to make that Boolean. I need to fill that Boolean because I'm changing the status, the status concept. I mean, the construction of the status, I'm going to change it. Okay. So I'm going to replace this to get the real answer. And I said, I want to use the Boolean. So I want to make, I have the status here. Let's put the status. So I have the status active, inactive, right? So I want to use the Boolean in order to get Boolean answer here. So I'm saying this equal active. Okay. I'm replacing this field. So doing this, FileMaker will say this, look, you will get a Boolean answer. So is status equal active? Yes. Is equal active. What about here? Is active? No. Here, it's active. So if I replace this with this is what I get. I get 1 for active and 0 for inactive, right? So now let's blank this. I blanked the status, correct? But I have the status. It's 1 and 0, right? Correct? But instead of using, so the status here, 1 is active, 0 is inactive. So if I change the relationship here, instead of using the status like this, I'm using the status Boolean, correct? And instead of doing this, I say I want 1. I have all the active. If I put 0, I have all the inactive. So let's put back let's make the calculation based on the Boolean here. Let's put the calculation here. Because I want the status to be verbose, you know. I want to be humanly understandable, okay? So the calculation is this. Choose, right, the Boolean status. If it's 0, it's inactive. 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 Okay. If it's 1, it's active. Choose, do this. If this returns 0, this what I want. If this return 1, this what I want. And I could continue 3, 4, 5, but here it's only 0 and 1. So what happens if I replace this by itself? You know, well, I get the status again back. So now if I create a new contact, right? Right? I have a new contact and I put 1 here, it's active. If I put 0 here, it's inactive. 1, 0. So that's really simple if you want to make, for example, here, you want to make this, what's the name? A toggle. If you want to make it like active, inactive, right? It's easier because you have to change the number, 1, 0, right? So now here you can see, I see all the inactive. If I put 1 here, I see all the active, but I'm using that Boolean, right? So what happens if I put 0 and 1? I have both. So you understand now that if you use that technique here, FileMaker relationship will only use 1 character here, not active and inactive. And when you want to code any script of set field or whatever, you just have to say set field 0110, right? Here now to drive this, it's simple, right? Much simpler than active inactive. Also, that's another problem you guys might have is when you sort, right? The benefit of using Boolean is when you sort. What happens if I sort that list by status, right? I got the active first and the inactive, right? Right? But this is because I am in English language. You have all the language where it's not the case, right? It won't be sorted that way. What happens if instead of doing this, I'm using the Boolean to sort my records, right? I have the inactive first and the active afterwards, right? But this is whatever I put here, it will always be like if I say Z active, it will be there. I don't care. And I don't, let's say here I'm putting whatever in the status. Well, it will always be sorted that way, right? And if you want to reverse and take the active first, so let's put back, this here. If you want the active first, you just have to, sort descending, the 1 first and the 0 after. So that is, you have much better control, right, than for sorting. And also on the relationship, you have much better control. 1, 0, simple, right? So that tag concepts, right? So do we have any question for that?
You still have to calculate the answer? Question mark.
Which answer?
I think this was a question that popped up about the Boolean stuff.
Yeah, the Boolean. Yeah, here I put manually. I put what I put 0, 1. I put 0, 1 here, and then this is just to show me, right? I want to show it, right? I want to have a field that show me what it is, but I don't rely on this. I don't rely. This is just for me to show something. I don't rely on it. I rely on this for the relationship. I always rely on the Boolean. Sort, relationship, whatever. And even find, right? Even find, you say 1, boom. Is much simpler than type find and type active, active. Actually, right, you know what I mean? So it's much simpler to do this instead of doing, perform find and say 1. Simpler, correct? So, and if you want both on perform find, you say, okay, superior or equal to 0. Both you have all, So the Boolean concept is very interesting. So do we have another question?
I think, yeah, we're good at the moment, but if another
Okay.
question pops, oh wait, hold on. Can it be expanded to more values than 0 and 1? But I guess then
Yes,
it's
of
not
course.
bullying anymore.
Yeah, it's not a Boolean anymore. It's not 0 and 1, but you can do that, You can have a -1, like FileMaker do that, right? On many things, they say 1, 2, 3, like a get device, for example, you return, when you have get device. I'm on 1, but if you're on Windows, you're on 2, on -1. If you're on iPhone, we say 3. On iPad, you say 4. Right? So you have different results, right? Like this, So or the get system platform, something like this. Yeah, Apple is 1 always. So you return different answer, but the Boolean is 1, 0. But you can extend. If you have a third status, you can say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can go but use the same number technique, right? That's not a problem, right? So you can extend it, but the Boolean is 0, 1, right? So let's extend this. a little bit, right? And I want, and I want to build in front of you. I didn't want to pre-build it, so I'm going to build something for you. You realize that, for example, there's some countries here, they are in different part of the world, right? Like Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Mexico. This is Latin America, right? For example, right? Even though Mexico, I don't know if it's Latin America or not, but politically, I don't know. But let's say it's you have Asia, China, you have Europe, right? So let's say you want to do that, you know. So let's say I want to say I want Europe, right? Or I want Latin America or North America, or something like this. So how you will do that? Putting a country, right? And then you want to get the whatever the region, right? So how you do that? So you have many ways to do that, but there's one way that is extremely great, and that is using relationships. How we use that? Because I know what you guys will do. You will say, okay, region, right? And you start a calc, a never-ending calc, correct? With a case that say, or a bunch of ifs. I don't know. You say, okay, case. You say, so you will do something like this. I'm sure you will do that. So you say, country equal, let's say France, right? Or let's say Colombia. And you will say, you return Latin America, right? And you continue. And you say country equal Peru, right? And you say country equal, I don't know, Mexico. And then you go country equal France. Ah. And you will say, okay, this is Europe, right? You will do something like that for all the countries. And when somebody will say, oh, I'm in Zimbabwe, and you don't have that in your calculation, you're screwed. Correct? So who will have deal with that problem that way?
Anyone? People are typing. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I need like a little button to briefly temporarily play Nick question music. I used to do this, but Nick taught me better a while back.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so how to replace this, right? In a very, very good manner. So I can keep the region because I'm going to use it. So this is high-level FileMaker, okay? Enjoy. I have my list of countries. All the countries I have in my contact, I have the list. It's there. Value list item, right? And it's my countries. I have them all. Correct? I have them all. So just what I need to do, I need to create a new table that I could regions. Regions. Create this. Of course, as I said, and I always have an ID. Always, I have an ID, a UUID for every single table. So first, I'm doing this. Then I have country, and then I have region. So I have this small table. Oops. Sorry. I did a mistake here. So now I'm screwed.
Do you want to stop sharing and
Yeah,
then?
I'm stop sharing because
That is
it's
yes, very tiny.
yeah.
Okay, we good?
Yeah. Like this. Okay. We good?
Yes, looks good to me.
Okay. New window, and I'm going to my region. So this is empty, right? My region empty. I have nothing here. So how I can get this in no time, right? How I can get this in no time? I have so I'm going to build a script, right? I have my list. My list of countries, right? I have it here. This is my list of countries. Then I said, how many countries I have here? Set variable, value count, right? And I want the count, I want the value count on this variable. So this is how many countries I have. Now I say loop, new record, set field, country, gets value from my list, gets record number. The first record, I get the first value. The second record, I get the second value. The third record, I get the third value, etc., etc. And then I said, exit loop if what's the name? The get record number equal my value. Oh, I'm outside. Equal my value list, my value count. So in no time, you get a list of countries. So I get my list of countries from the value list. The value list is doing that for me. The value list go to the table, get all the countries available in my, all the countries I have in my contacts. It will get a list of it, make it clean, I count them, I say new record from the list. I'm getting the first value when the first record, the second value, and then I said exit if the record number I'm in equal the value list. That means if I have 300 or 35 country, when I get at the record 35, it stops. So let's run it. Oh, sorry. What happened here? Yeah, I need to, I'm keeping modifying this is because this system is okay. So I need to stop this and I cannot stop it. I did a mistake. I can't stop it.
What's the loop? Like, what's happening?
Yeah. I can't stop it. I can't stop it. It doesn't allow me to stop it. So I need to force quit the file.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. Because I wasn't in the right. So I'm here, right? So let's debug it first because I wasn't in the right. So here, new record, Australia, Belgium, so boom. Okay, so I have all my countries, right? Correct? So
Yep.
now, Australia is Australia because it's a continent. It's a continent. This is Europe, right? So I can use here in the region. I can use to get faster. I can use this autocomplete. Belgium is Europe. Brazil is Latin America. Canada is Northern America. I will get it. And Northern is correct. It look like it's not. Northern, okay. Chile is Latin America. China is Asia. Colombia, Latin America. Costa Rica, Latin America. France is Europe. Germany, Europe. India is Asia. Indonesia, Asia. Ireland, Europe. Italy, Europe. Mexico, Latin. Netherlands, Europe. New Zealand, Asia. Nigeria, Africa. Norway, Europe. Pakistan, Asia. Peru, Latin. So we go. So we do some geography. Russia is half. Okay, let's say Asia. Singapore, Asia. South Africa, Africa. Singapore, Asia. South Korea, Asia. Spain, Europe. Sweden, Europe. Turkey, Asia. Ukraine, Europe. I mean, soon. United Kingdom, Europe. United States, Northern. Vietnam, Asia. Okay? So now I have this. So now that I have this, I keep doing this. Oof. Sorry, it's Zoom is not good at all for what I'm doing. Okay. So now that I have this, let's go back to my accounts here or to my contacts. Okay. So how I can get the region here now, right? How I can get the region next to the country, right? Well, it's very simple. I have a relationship here with my region and the contacts. So let's delete those that don't need. And I said country with country. Okay, so relationship. And the region is from contact to region and the region. Right? So if I relook up this, so now I know. Right? So what happened if I change this guy and I put it in France? It's in Europe. Right? So what happened if tomorrow I'm going here and I say, yeah, I have a new country here. I have, I don't know, Chile. I don't know if I have it. No, I don't have it. Yeah, Chile I have. Let's say I have Costa Rica. Right? Costa Rica. And this is in Latin America. Okay? So I create a new country, right? And now I said this guy here is in Costa Rica. Both Latin America. So you don't need freaking ifs, cases, and whatever hard-coded stuff. You use a table, and you put your country there. And you can use this, correct? So now that I have this, I can use this into a relationship and say, yeah, instead of doing country, I can say, okay, I want the world region, right? But I got the region in a very, very simple manner. No need of a freaking, you know what I mean? So now I'm going to show you something else. So did you get the concept here?
Are we following along, everybody? People have been yes.
When you want to do something like this,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have countries, pretty much when you start needing a bunch of case, if country equal this, then that, if country that, then this, case, like a 200 case like this. If you have this, go away. You need a table. And now I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind completely. Okay? And then we stop the webinar. But this will blow your mind. Because you say, yeah, Nick, but this is a pain in the where you know where. Because if each time in my contact, I'm creating a contact and I don't have the country and I need to go there and create the country, this is the pain in the butt. Yeah, and I agree. But relationship is much better than you think. Proof of it. Let's say I have a new contract from a country that I don't have. Okay? Okay. So here you add this. Okay? So that means I want to create the country. Okay? Correct? I want to create the country. So automatically. And at the same time, I want to create the region. From the region table. Correct? I want to create a region here. So let's say I have a new contact, right? And I have whatever, March.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you're living in a country I don't have. Correct? So let's say, pick one. What do I have here? I don't have Greece. Okay. I want to add Greece. I don't have it here. Don't see it. I don't have. I want Greece. Okay. I tap Greece here. I don't have it. Right? And I still don't have it. Oh, sorry for that. Country. It's not there. Here. Right? I want this, and I say Greece. Now it's there. And it's Europe. So I create it. So you will say, yeah, that's good. But if what happened if I create a new record and again I want Greece for another contact? Do you think it will create one? Yeah, it did it. Why? Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, it won't create it, but it's okay. I need to do something, but you got the point here. I know I need to do something here. Um, something more, but it's okay. It will next week. I'm going to fix this. Okay. Because I did it too fast. Okay, but with the relationship, I'm going to create the country only if it's needed. Okay, I'm going to do that. Only if needed, is going to create the country. Correct? So I'm going to do that. Don't worry. But the relationship will do that for you using that technique here. It's going to create a record, right? And you will be able to create the record again. Okay. So I'm going to fix that. It's, just I want to show you this. Right. So do we have any questions?
Do we have any commentary, concerns, everybody? Yeah, I see the power of relationships. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Don't, it's that not only the relationship, but the use of a table instead of creating crazy stuff. When you need something like this, for example, it can be anything, can be anything. You want to categorize, I don't know, you name it. But if you need to do crazy thing like this, like group things like this, you don't use the if and the case, no, right? Because you can create countries and stuff like that. You can, right? So next week I'm going to add the little piece of a UI that is missing. It's missing a UI here to make the country to be created, right? So I'm going to do that using the relationship. Don't worry, I'm not using something else than relationship. But I need the support of a little script to do that, right, for me. But the concept of grouping the region, well, it will be like automatic with this. Do we have any questions?
If you create a country, do you get to be the king?
Yeah, I'm going to create my own country, and I will be like tax free. So you can be, and I'm going to sell the passport like $2 million. Like there's in England they have like Guernsey. It's the islands. You have like pretty much half of their economy is 100% based on the hosting computers. Because over there you can host whatever you want. You put a computer there, it's yours, and it's countries, and there's no laws. You can store whatever you want. And there's another country they name Vanuatu, right? And a friend of mine, he was tired in France, right? And the guy was in love with Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and he had like 15 cars like this, right? And he was tired. He was living in France, and he was tired of losing his driving license because it's impossible, with this type of car to drive like a 40, like a 30 miles, right? It's impossible. So he was losing his. He said, "I don't care about paying the fine, but he was tired of losing his driving license. So he got the citizenship of the Vanuatu, and he put like the car in his he registered the car there, and he has a driving license over there, and then he couldn't lose the driving license. But you need to be rich for that. So anyway, I might think about it. Create my own country. Any questions?
I think we're good for the moment. So, are
Okay.
we gonna see
So
you Monday? Or wait, are you gonna? Do you have something else you wanna?
no, Monday.
Yes, Monday. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Nick, for coming. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It's good to have
Okay.
you
So
as always.
I'm going to send you the file. Day free,
Yes,
right?
please do, and
Yeah,
I'll share that with everybody.
yeah. It's good to do that way, to every day, you have day 1, day 2, day 3, like this is good.
Yes. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Have a good one. I will see you all tomorrow.